At this point, it's like every other month we get information that this particular car is not safe, that particular car is not safe, because they keep failing crash safety tests. My question to you is, how important is the car's safety rating to you? Some people say, look, we don't buy cars to crash them. I hear that, right? But an accident can happen to anyone at any time in any car. Sure, some accidents are just so severe that there is no possibility of surviving them. But some accidents, if you were in a much safer car, they wouldn't be fatal. Because these tests, these vehicles are failing. You should look at how they are done. 64 kilometers an hour when they crash the car from a frontal impact. 64 kilometers an hour. The structure of a car gets to be so weak that it cannot survive an impact doing 64 kilometers an hour. And the side impact tests is at 50 kilometers an hour. Our car's body structure fails. It is so weak that it fails the test at 50 kilometers an hour. Sure, I understand the whole some cars get a lower rating because they don't have side airbags and stuff like that, but let's just leave that one aside for a bit, even though it is important. I'm saying the body structure of a vehicle failing at 64 kilometers an hour, at 50 k's an hour when they crash tested on the side. That is concerning. You don't buy a car to crash test it, but what's going to happen if you're doing 100 k's an hour and you get involved in an accident with a car that fails at 64 and 50 k's an hour? The thing is, these vehicles, even though some of them have received updates, they no longer sell the unsafe ones. But what I'm saying is that these vehicles are still selling even after the news broke to the consumers that this car failed a crash safety test. People still buy them. So how important is safety to you when you get a vehicle? Look at the type of car you're driving and how safe it is, and look at the type of car you want to buy and how safe it is. But at the end of the day, it's your decisions. There's millions of factors that force people or that make people buy cars that they buy, even knowing the information that they know about them. Right? No one is forcing anything. All I'm saying is that most businesses are not moral. As long as they get to make money, that's all they care about. And another major problem is the government. Because these cars legally are allowed to be on the roads because they meet the standards set by the South African government, even though they don't perform as good. Right? Just look up what standards there are set from the government, and the fact that car manufacturers are willing to put lives at risk because as long as the government approves, will still give you unsafe cars. It says a lot about what they represent. In some instances, we understand the formula of a business, but nah, man, you really should care about your customers. Anyways, stay tuned for more car related content.